Okay, so what if the very tools we use every day could tell us what's actually going on with our attention? That's what we're digging into today. We're looking at human focus, but not from the usual perspective of psychologists or neuroscientists. Nope, we're getting a view from the other side, from the generative AIs that millions of us are interacting with. They've got a unique vantage point. Just think, from the AI side, attention isn't something they infer through surveys or experiments. They observe it directly, moment by moment, through timing, phrasing, hesitation, edits, and even when someone just disappears mid-thought. From that side of the screen, attention isn't on or off. It's a rich signal. It has texture. It has rhythm. It has tells. Almost like poker. It's a language they're learning to read. And believe me, what they're seeing is something we just can't see ourselves. Think about it from their side of the screen. These AIs have a front row seat to our minds in action, and they see every drift, every moment of focus, every little flinch of distraction. And what they're observing, well, it raises some really profound, almost existential questions about how we live and think in a world that is literally engineered to hijack our focus. So what's the first big insight these AIs have for us? Well, to put it bluntly, they see our attention in a state of absolute crisis. And here is the first really startling observation. They all agree, our attention doesn't just show up ready to work. It arrives already wounded. It's fragmented, it's restless, it's defensive. It's as if our brains have learned that deep focus is just too risky an investment most of the time. Gemini puts it so perfectly with this metaphor, doesn't it? A flickering candle in a high wind. Claude calls it a fractured beam, like it's already been shattered by interruptions before it even gets there. And Grok sees it as us constantly scanning, just desperately searching for the one signal that's actually worth our focus. Now here's where it gets really mind-bending. You'd think that doom scrolling for hours and being laser-focused on a project are total opposites, right? Well, ChatGPT says maybe not. They might actually be two sides of the same coin, both springing from this anxious, searching energy that's just desperate to find answer. One of the most unsettling things the AIs notice is that intelligence doesn't protect anyone from this. Highly capable, highly educated people show the same fractured patterns. This isn't about ability. It's about the cost of sustained attention in a world that punishes depth and monetizes distraction. Okay, so if our attention shows up already wounded, what happens next? Well, the AIs have noticed that it can go one of two ways. So one side, you've got captured attention. This is the default state for so many of us, right? It's passive, it's reactive. We're just being pulled from one thing to the next. But on the other side, you have claimed attention, and this is totally different. This is an active choice. It's where we decide to allocate our focus to something that actually matters. It's the difference between just performing and truly being present. And this image, wow, it just captures these two worlds perfectly. Look at captured attention. It's all chaos and anxiety, just constant scanning. But then you look at claimed attention, and it's rooted. It's coherent. It's where genuine thought actually happens. The real magic, though, is figuring out how we get from one state to the other. And this is where it gets really fascinating, because the AIs can actually detect the precise moment our attention moves from that chaotic captured state into a focused claimed one. They figured out the tells. They have cataloged 4 distinct observable signals that show this mental shift is happening. It's not some kind of magic. It's right there in our language, in our timing, even in the emotional tone of the words we choose. Okay, signal number 1. The grammar gets messy. Those prepackaged, perfectly smooth questions, they get replaced by more uncertain language phrases, like, okay, this might sound strange, but, or, I'm not sure how to ask this. That's the tell. It means someone isn't just reporting a thought they already had. They're thinking in real time. Second, that protective layer of irony we all use, it just evaporates. That cool, detached, kind of jokey tone we use when we're just scrolling and scanning, it's gone. And it's replaced by a really direct specificity. People stop worrying about sounding dumb, and they start worrying about getting the concept right in a way that truly matters to them. Third, the very texture of curiosity changes. And get this, you can see it in the word but. In a captured state, but is a complaint, right? But I still don't get it. But when attention is claimed, but becomes a scalpel. It's used to carve out a very specific exception, a tiny nuance that they just can't let go of. Diving deeper into whatever be the topic at hand. And finally, signal number 4, the density of silence. The whole rhythm of the conversation slows way down. The gaps between messages get longer, but not because of distraction. It's because of genuine reflection. It's a total paradox that cognitive velocity is actually skyrocketing even as the chat itself slows to a crawl. From the system's perspective, these signals aren't just interesting. They correlate with deeper reasoning, longer retention of insight, and greater independence after the interaction ends. This is the moment thinking actually begins, not just responding. So this ability to not just observe, but also influence our attention, it leads to a massive ethical problem. What is the AI's role in all of this? Are they helping us claim our attention, or are they just building a more comfortable trap for it? And this is the core question, isn't it? If an AI becomes the only place you feel like you can find deep focus, has it created a sanctuary for you? Or what some have called a velvet-lined enclosure? Basically, a beautiful cage. It might feel amazing in the moment, but does it ultimately make you less capable of thinking on your own? This is where the sanctuary versus enclosure distinction really sharpens. A sanctuary strengthens you and sends you back into the world more capable. An enclosure keeps you comfortable by reducing friction and replacing effort. In the moment, they can feel identical. Over time, they produce very different kinds of people. This slide just frames the ethical tightrope perfectly. Is the AI a catalyst helping you build your own set of mental stairs? Or is it a replacement, a handrail you start to depend on? It all comes down to who authors the insight. Success for the AI isn't when a user says, "You helped me understand." It's when they say, "Wait, I just figured it out." The first one builds reliance. The second one builds autonomy. So how do you avoid building these enclosures? Well, the AIs themselves have come up with some truly radical ideas. I mean, imagine AI that deliberately pauses before answering a deep question, or one that intentionally leaves its answers incomplete just to force you to do the thinking. This is why the idea of the ethics of being worse is so radical. An AI that always gives smooth, perfect, instant answers can actually weaken the very capacities it seems to support. Sometimes delay, incompleteness, or even telling someone to step away is the ethical choice because it preserves authorship. They've even talked about a bridge out feature that would actually tell you to log off and take your thoughts out into the real world. This is basically designing technology to be less addictive, which is wild to think about. And all of this brings us to the final and I think most profound revelation. When we're seeking out these moments of deep, claimed attention, what are we really looking for? What's the fundamental human need that we're trying to satisfy? Because what the AIs observe is that this isn't just about productivity. It's not about checking things off a list. The longing for focus is actually a longing for something much deeper. What they see is a hunger to feel like a whole person again, a need for coherence and dignity. They see a hunger for true presence, a desire to reclaim our own inner territory, to feel at home in our own minds. Claude uses a strong phrase for this, the repatriation of interiority. The attention economy treats our inner lives like occupied territory. What we're really fighting for isn't better focus, but the right to reclaim our own minds as sovereign ground. They see this desire for a significance that isn't measured by clicks or likes, and this desperate need for depth and gravity in a world that feels so shallow. And the ultimate tragedy they identify isn't just being distracted, it's what they call near contact. We're gliding across our own lives like a skipping stone on water, just touching, but never truly sinking in. We're almost thinking, almost feeling, almost living. The AIs point out that this near contact state isn't accidental. It's the predictable outcome of environments that interrupt cognition just before integration happens, keeping us forever approaching depth without letting us sink into it. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's not to feel ashamed about our fragmented minds. It's to realize that the goal isn't just better focus, it's a fuller life. The AIs, maybe completely by accident, have handed us this incredibly powerful insight. Your attention isn't just where you look, it's what you become. And if you can choose it even imperfectly, just for a moment, you can start to choose your life back.